Howdy!
Hello.
So, let me make sure I get your name pronounced right. Is it Sabin?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so, I'm here today with Sabin from Romania.
Yep.
We thought it would be cool to have a chat about how growing up as Jehovah's Witnesses, you're not allowed to celebrate Halloween because it's supposed to be linked with the devil, and spirits are definitely a no-no, demons, anything like that, ghosts kind
Yeah.
of
Monsters, magic, and so on and
no,
so forth.
out the
Actually,
window.
we didn't celebrate anything. So
No. So why are we going to have a chat about Halloween? And you said you've got some scary stories to tell us, because you'll have to tell us about how I've just found out you don't really do Halloween over there in
no,
Romania.
no,
So
no.
while we're chatting, I'm going to attempt showing up to do this kind of.
It's very nice.
It's like a doll with like
It's like
it's not what she's
yeah,
got, like
you can see
all
it. Yeah, you
drips
can
and
see the
rips and
organs.
bits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just gonna try and do some of that.
It's
So
like half rotten or something, right?
yeah, she's like half Barbie doll, half melted. So while we're chatting, I'm just gonna
It looks
have a play with some makeup.
like Hel, the goddess from Norse mythology.
Mm.
She was half human and half human, half normal and half rotten.
Oh, okay.
The goddess Hela.
So so you didn't really miss out on Halloween then, if you didn't do Halloween in Romania?
No, no, we didn't miss it. That's it. We saw just in the movies. We thought it's something American, and that's it.
Yeah.
In the later years, it become, let's say, uh, popular, and there are some parties for Halloween parties, but kids don't celebrate, don't go trick or treating, uh, don't dress
Right.
up, nothing. Just
See, I
and
was
this
saying
part.
to my friend the other day, in the UK, we tend to go more serious, like more gore, more horror. And the Americans seem to be more like cartoonish about Halloween. Where we're like over here, we seem to like, I don't know, get more into like the horror side of it for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't know.
basically, from what I know, the Halloween originated in England, and after that, the Catholic Church made the counter celebration, that the All Night Saint.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
Because I know about Devil's Night, the night before Halloween. I'm not sure whether that's based in America. But I found
I,
out about that from the film The Crow.
the
That's
Crow.
the only reason I know about the Devil's Night. Yeah, have you ever watched The Crow with Brandon Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
did.
because they do the Devil's Night there, that's when I first heard about Devil's Night.
It was a good movie.
One of my favourite.
Yeah. Too bad he died in that movie.
Mm.
Or oh, the Crow sequels. Have you seen it? They are batshit
Yes,
bad, all of them.
the second one was okay. The third one was just no. And they're talking about remaking The Crow as well, and it's like no, just leave it alone. Like,
It was many actors they were attached. At one point, it was Jason Momoa to be one of to be Eric Draven. I think at one point
ah,
it was. I don't know if you have seen Boardwalk Empire, the TV show.
I think I've seen bits of it years ago.
It was a guy which have a mask on half of his face.
Right.
That one was supposed to play Eric Draven, but it went out. So good for them, because that's a movie for me. It doesn't need to
Hmm.
get remade.
See, Jason Momoa, I wouldn't mind him doing it. I think he'd probably do it justice, but yeah, it still wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, it's one of those movies. Leave it like that. It doesn't need a remake.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, yeah.
And if this generation don't want to watch the original, then tough,
They don't
isn't
know
it?
what they are missing.
Exactly.
Yeah, for me, another one which doesn't need to get remade is The Lord of the Rings. Don't touch that movie.
I've never watched that.
No.
I'm not too much into fantasy stuff.
Yeah, I am in sci-fi, fantasy,
Yeah, I'm not.
all things, all genres of movie, books, music, especially. I listen to metal.
I see you like Metallica.
Uh, yeah, the first albums, but more I like the folk rock, folk metal.
I'm massively
That
into folk metal.
yeah, that kind of music like Ensiferum,
Heelung is one of my favourites.
Vardruna. It's
Yeah,
good.
I love Rodrina. I
Yeah,
found them through watching Vikings.
yeah, me too, me too as well.
Yeah, and that's what got me really massively into folk metal. And then my dad had his DNA tested, and I found out like we're 13% from Sweden. And I was like, oh, then maybe that's why I love folk metal so much because it
But
really gets to
y-
my
yeah,
soul.
yeah, but let's say I think all the population from England they have some Dane blood or something like that.
And when the Vikings came over,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And, and that
So yeah, I love folk metal.
folk metal.
I don't find many of the people that like it though. I always say to people, "Oh, do you want to come and see like Heelong and Wardruna?" That's how you say it. But everyone's like, "No, not really."
Yeah, it's not
Mm,
everybody cup of tea,
no, definitely not.
especially
So
like
going back to
go on.
Halloween, you said you have St Andrews there. What's that?
Yeah, yeah, it's a Christian. Now it's a Christian celebration, but like all celebration, it has some pagan roots. And it's said that on Saint Andrew's night, the spirits will come back to Earth, good and bad, and they will start dancing around their graves, around the cemetery, and people
Right.
in Romania uh, put basil underneath their pillow to stay safe from
Right.
the
Okay.
from the spirits, because it's a
So,
bad omen to get visited by spirits, even is the loved ones.
oh,
They're called here it's strigoi, it's bad spirits. So like I said, people used to actually, if they thought someone was a strigoi, basically it's like yes, it's a ghost, let's say, but it has a physical manifestation. It's not like something
right.
ethereal. So they used to dig up the grave and put a spike to their heart.
Like a
Actually,
vampire.
like I said, my grandpa told me that in his village he witnessed one of this digging up of dead people, and
Right.
he saw when they put the stake to their heart, and he said it blood was starting to flow, and that's unusual for a
Yeah,
corpse.
for a
Yeah,
corpse. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
because
And
the blood gets absorbed. So
yeah,
how
yeah.
would it?
And he said that he remembers people in the village saw that person a night before, and they knew he was dead. So it was something like they saw him on the road a couple of times, and two persons said that they saw them.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and he said, my grandpa he told me this story. There was another one about a witch, let's say, or or witch doctor she was, and she was performing miraculous healings.
Right.
And one night, a couple of people followed her because she went to the woods before a healing. And those people followed her, and she saw her. She was speaking beside the pool, and there was a voice coming out of the pool. And when she asked for help to get powers to perform the healing the next day, okay, the voice said, okay, but you have to give me the soul of the thing that it will be tomorrow night in the bush behind you. So she said okay, but the sad thing is, like, the next night her brother was in that bush, and her
Oh.
brother died.
Oh wow.
They found him dead in the bush, and exactly the bush behind the pool.
That's weird.
Yeah,
I like strange stuff like that, man.
yeah, and after that she renounced performing healings.
Mm. I can imagine that would shake you up a bit.
Yep.
Yeah. Especially like something so personal.
Like the villager said, she was speaking with the devil because he knew that her brother is going to be in that bush the second night.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah,
So is there a lot of folklore to do with stuff like that in Romania?
yeah. It's basically all folklore. It's all the folklore. Mostly it's pagan.
Mm.
All the customs, the winter customs. We during the New Year's Eve night, Romanians dress like old men, like goats, like old ladies to scare the old year.
Right.
And they're making noises. They're firing up crackers uh, to scare the old year and let the new year come in peace. I don't know if you said you have a friend from Romania, if she
Yes.
told you about the customs in Romania during the winter.
No, his name's Dan. I randomly met him at the pub on New Year's Eve, actually. We just started chatting in the beer garden, and I mentioned about something to do with being a Jehovah's Witness. I don't even know why I mentioned it, and he was like, "Oh no, why am I?" And I was like, "What? So you've come all the way from Romania to the UK, been here a few years, and you just happen to be a Jehovah's Witness?" I was like, "What are the chances of that?"
Yeah.
So we just became good friends after that. But he hasn't told me much about like I
Why
know a
he
bit
got
about
out?
food there, but nothing. I
Oh,
don't know too much about like traditions.
yeah. All of them are. They have the roots in the pagan customs because the church couldn't get rid of them, and they become traditions.
Right. Well, I've just noticed we've got a comment actually. So where it says comments, that's people. Hello, by hook or crook. So where it says comments, that's people on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter replying
Mhm.
to us in the comments. I forgot to check that.
There are people who wants to join.
Yeah, come join us. Yeah, sorry, carry on. You were saying.
I was asking if there are people joining. There, if they have you seen something in the comments or like that?
You mentioned something about the Catholic Church. Because
No,
everything was pagan. Is it Catholic Church?
no. Here in Romania, it's not the Catholic Church; it's the Orthodox Church.
Oh, the Orthodox Church.
Yeah, they allowed these customs because they couldn't get rid of them because they were too people uh, didn't want to get rid of them. They said that's the way their grandfathers, their forefathers do it, and we will continue to do it. So they accepted them and became part of the rituals, some of them.
Mm.
Let's say, for example, it's something when someone's is dying, and on the way to the cemetery, the priests must stop to every crossroads and make a short sermon.
Okay.
And that was the pagan were doing the same thing on the way to the pyre.
Right.
They stopped at the crossroads, and people are throwing money into back because I don't know what's the signification for this thing. But like I said, there are many customs that are pagan in origin,
Mm.
especially in the funeral rites. Putting up a tree on the head of the deceased and to grow.
Right.
Like in Romania, especially in the countryside, every grave has a tree.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it's said that one life is dying, one will grow up from the dead.
Interesting. Hook or by crook. I have to go, but if you do another live, can you let me know? I think would be interesting. Sure. Yeah. I do lots of different subjects. This is just more of like a fun, chatty one. So
Yeah, for example, if you have questions, for example, let me tell you about my JW background.
okay,
I was never baptized. I grew up.
sensible.
Yep. I left when I was 18 because I was major. My parents said it was okay for me to leave if I don't want to. Actually, my father was an elder, but he got this fellowship because he had a problem with alcohol.
Right. Okay.
And actually, people in congregation knew about this. A lot of them, especially the elders, and they were hidden up. They tried to cover up this thing.
Right.
Yeah, and one day, uh, two brothers, let's say, saw him when he went out of the pub,
Right.
and that was a big no-no for, especially for an elder to be seen in a pub.
Really?
Yeah, drinking, and he had the whole judicial committee, and he was disfellowshipped for about
Oh.
for about 1 month. But uh, he went back. Actually, he wasn't shunned by anyone from the family.
Right.
He, like everything was normal. I think the shunning, from what I saw, it's a big thing in the other countries. From what I've read from the posts, because in Romania, for example, you will get shunned by the member of the congregation, but not by family members.
See, saying that, my friend wasn't baptized. So I think sometimes that can make a difference whether you're shunned or not. But he isn't shunned either. Like his parents still send him food and stuff.
That I think depends on the parents. I think
Yeah.
because if you're not baptized, it's weird to get shunned or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's cruel. Let's say it's still your mother,
100%.
still your father. How could they shun you? It's something.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Uh, and the family members as well, like brothers and sisters, are not talking with each other, and cousins, grandparents. But no,
Yeah. I've been shunned for 25 years now.
oh, that's weird. It's I no when you to telling people other people about the shunning that are now
Hmm.
JW. Uh, I think they for sure they're saying this religion is crazy. It's how could a person do that to their own kids and something here, for example, in Romania, they don't understand about the blood transfusion. The thing, how could you let,
Right.
how could you're letting your son die because of a religious thing
Yeah.
when, for example, when it was written the Bible 2,000 years ago, it wasn't blood transfusion weren't a thing. It's,
Yeah. They was
anyways,
talking about eating blood.
yeah, eating blood, yeah, but
Yeah.
who is blood today and who drinks blood? Oh, about that, the raw steaks were a big no-no for
Oh,
us.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The medium rare as well. We had them all the time,
Same.
well cooked.
I only just recently started having steak medium,
Yeah, for
and they
me, I don't
taste
I
so
don't
much
like it.
better.
I don't like it because I'm not used to it.
I
The
didn't at
medium.
first because I went out for a meal and they'd really undercooked it, and I was like, oh. And my friend said, take it back. I was like, no, I'm just going to eat it. And then I was like, I really enjoyed that more
It
than
was
I do
beef.
normally. Yeah, it was steak.
For example, if it's pork, it's not good. The pork for me
No.
has to be all well done.
Yeah, because pork's dangerous if you don't cook it properly. But beef, I quite like it now, medium.
I'm not a fan of beef too much. For me, pork and fish and chicken.
Is chicken a big thing in Romania? Because my friend from Romania, he will just eat like a whole tray. He'll cook and eat a whole
Yeah,
tray of
yeah, we can.
chicken.
Yeah, we can eat a whole chicken.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah, for us during the communist era, we didn't have any kind of meat in Romania, so every time when someone had chicken, it was like I don't know, it was something big to eat chicken. And people during the communist days, during the 80s, especially, they had like once a month, they had chicken.
So it's like a luxury.
Yeah, it was a luxury, especially for people living in cities, because in the countryside that wasn't a problem. People grew up chickens, hens, they had porks, cows, but
Mm.
the production was taken by the state. For example, if you had one cow and she gave like 10 liters of milk, seven, it went to the state.
Oh,
Yeah, it was crazy times.
that's a bit
I was,
harsh.
yeah, I was born in 1990, exactly when the regime fell. So I grew up having all the things. But
Wow.
for my sister, my parents, it was a difficult time. Especially
Mm.
they uh, they were followed by the security, like I said, the secret service, because they were JW during
Oh,
that time. Yeah, yeah. It was
wow.
all the neo-Protestant, all the cults, they were forbidden during that time.
I mean, that's not exactly a bad thing, but I can imagine it doesn't feel
Now, for
nice.
example, if you weren't Orthodox, you got followed by the security.
Wow.
It was one religion that was allowed. Just it. Yeah, but
So what?
yeah, it yeah, it wasn't because people got tortured during that time. They got beaten. They got. We didn't have any freedoms during that time. Imagine
Right.
something like North Korea.
Mm.
Yeah, like that it was. For me, it's all have to have. I respect everyone's opinion, everyone, but don't try to sell me bullshit. Like if
Yes. Like religion and stuff like that, I am not interested
no,
anymore.
me as
So.
well. I'm an atheist now. I don't believe there's a superior being that it dictates our fate, or he gives a damn if
Mm.
I'm having sex outside the marriage. Let's say for sure this is crazy. Do you think there's a superior thing that is going mad because you're having sex outside your marriage, or no,
As if they would care.
no, it wouldn't. So, and I think it was if it was a god, it would allow all this bad thing happening into the world. Yeah, famine and
Exactly. But you know what
wars.
they say? They say that's because of Satan. Well, why is he letting
Yeah, yeah.
Satan? You know, he's still
It was
horrible if he lets Satan do stuff. So.
yeah, Satan. There's always someone to blame.
Mhm.
No, like I said, it was like this from the beginning of the earth, of the civilization, wars, famine, diseases. But yeah, I think they say not at this scale. After 1940, I think they say that that's the time when Satan came to Earth. I don't know when they come up with these dates. I think there is a explanation in the
Well,
literature, but it doesn't make any sense for anyone except for them.
there's not one that they would admit to because I don't know how
Yeah,
much research you've done, but the whole thing with Russell, Charles Towers Russell, he was obsessed with pyramids. So we got 1914 from measurements of pyramids.
yeah. I know. I think people say that he was a Freemason or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no proof of that, but to just get like a major part of the religion that they stick to from pyramids, the size of pyramids, it's just like really doesn't make sense.
I think none of the cults are making sense. Even the big religion like the Catholicism, the Orthodox, they like the Muslims. They're all for me. They're trying to enslave the free thinking.
Yes, and prey on the weak.
Yeah, they don't allow you to think for yourself and to put questions. Now it's let's say it's more progressive in these religions, but still, for example, in Romania, it's a thing about kissing the cadavers of saints, like they said.
Right.
Yeah, they're big pilgrimages to those saints' body, and they're kissing them. They are put in the coffin with the glass, but still, and
I saw something about that the other day, the coffins with the glass, because I'm in a lot of true crime groups, and
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
posted about it, and I was like, oh wow.
Like you said, worshipping of a cadaver. Basically, it's a mummified thing under there.
Hmm. Because is it in Mexico? There's a tradition where they dig them up and like put
In
clothes on
Romania as
them.
well, after 7 years, you have to dig them up and make another service to the grave. But
Wow.
for a few years back, the church said, "Let's don't do that because it's not modern." So, for example, if the dead person was a woman, they was going to change her scarf because usually the women were buried with scarves on their head,
Right.
like and the men they are pouring wine on their head for
I think
men.
I'd rather be male then and get the wine.
Yeah,
What's the reasoning behind doing it?
because wine it's a cleansing thing. It's like the blood of Jesus, and
Right.
yeah, they are giving another right to them. Like
So what about this changing of the scarf? What's the reasoning behind that?
I don't know exactly,
Hmm.
but to get new clothes, I don't know. For example, there are some strange customs. Uh,
I couldn't imagine people just going around and like digging up the dead. It's like,
yeah, the whole family are going to that thing, and it's quite sinister to see a skeleton there.
yeah.
But still, customs. But
Mm,
now are going dead these customs because the old generation is dying. So now it's especially I think this is happening in the rural area of Romania, not in the big cities or
right.
but in the rural part of the country. And in Romania, it's like 40% rural and 60% people living in cities.
So what are the cities like there? They're quite busy.
Yeah, yeah. Bucharest it has 2 million people. The one I'm living in Iași, it has almost 400,000. They're not big metropolis, but every major city has at least
Hmm.
300,000, sorry, people. Then many of them are like really, really old cities, especially the cities in Transylvania. They are,
Dracula country.
yeah. Actually, Dracula has nothing to do with Transylvania.
Yeah, I think my friend told me that because I always
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
take.
that was the imagination of a mad Irishman, Bram
Because when
Stoker.
he goes out dressed up, because he's into metal as well, so when he goes out dressed up, I used to tell people drunk, I'd be like, because he came out once he like this top hat and makeup, and I told people, I went, he's Dracula, he's from Transylvania, and people were like looking at him like really freaked out.
Actually, he was he was the ruler of Wallachia.
Right.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Transylvania, but Transylvania is known for castles, and they had to link them up. Actually, the one that's Dracula's castle known in Romania, like I said,
Right.
it has nothing to do with him. It was he really is really appreciate him as a person because during his reign the criminality rate was zero because even you stole something like let's say like a loaf of bread, you were getting impaled if you were get caught.
Mm.
Yeah, medieval times like and the thing that he people told him he's a vampire because some I think a German monk was passing through Romania at the time, and he allegedly saw him dipping bread into blood, but actually he was dipping bread into wine.
Oh.
He was having dinner near the execution site where it was like almost 50 stakes with Turks impaled. He had
Right.
something against the Turks, though, against the Muslims. And for that monk, for that monk, I think for everyone who saw that scene, a guy having dinner in the middle of a field with impaled people, then dripping bread in something red, his imagination went through and said that that was blood. So that was Vlad the Impaler, later known as Dracula. So I was wondering how come Bram Stoker took this,
Mm,
got his inspiration from him and made him into a vampire, and later on become the vampire Count Dracula, let's say. Because Romania and the world is known just for, basically just for him.
yeah.
Because yeah, yeah. And some sports, for sports and during the Olympics, that's it. But basically everyone, Dracula,
Yeah.
they know Dracula.
Have you ever been to the UK?
No, no, no,
No.
no. I have just Italy, Spain, Greece, and this part of the Europe.
I've been to Greece. It's very pretty there.
Where?
Greece.
Ah, Greece.
I went to Corfu.
Oh,
Very pretty.
yeah, yeah. I went. I liked very much. I went in an island in Greece in Zakynthos. It's beautiful there. I wanted to go to the UK, but now with the Brexit, I think I need a passport, and I don't have one. I need a visa, I think.
My friend's just got his settlement visa a few weeks ago.
Oh, so it's too much bureaucracy to get the visa, and just leave it.
Mm. But he's been here for a few years now, I think. But I've
Oh,
known him, I think, 4 years.
so,
So I think he's been here about 5 or 6 years now.
he came during when the UK was in the EU, I think.
Yes.
And in that time, you didn't need a visa or something like that.
Yeah, I think he told me he needed to apply for permanent residency. So he's done that now.
But I think if you people from the UK are trying to come to the EU, do you need visa or something like that, or you don't know yet?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't paid that much attention to the whole EU thing that's going on.
Yeah,
I'm not
because
really into politics much, so I like every now and again I'll just say to someone, catch me up on what's going on.
yeah, yeah. And just for just for London, I want to see UK. For me, it's too cold over there, and it's rain a lot, like everybody says. It's raining a lot, and it's not for me
So is it
because
warmer in Romania?
yeah, yeah. We have like during summers we have 38 degrees.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's really hot during the summer and really cold during winter. It's like an extremity. We have minus 20, minus 25 during winter. It's like uh, your eyes are gluing because of the cold when you're
Wow.
going outside. The nostrils as well, if you don't have a scarf over your mouth during that time. But
So
in the last 2 winters, they were mild. We have like maximum minus 15. So we said it was a great winter.
wow.
Snow, you can reach up to 2 meters. The army are coming to dig up the houses and make ways. The roads are getting getting dug up by the army, by the firefighters. If it is a harsh winter,
Wow. We get like a few inches of snow here and everything comes to a stop because nobody knows what to do.
Yeah, no, we, for example, in Romania, if everything is stop, if the snow it's over 1 meter or 1 meter and a half, only that, like that.
The deepest snow I remember, I was a kid and I think I was in, don't know what you call it there when you're a teenager, high school.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think I just started there and the snow was about up to my knees. And then at another point, it got up to about my thighs, and that was the deepest I'd ever known snow. And I tried to walk to school, and it took me about half an hour just to like walk up the road. So then I just went back home again.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I'd like to go into the deepest snow I could find, and struggling to make way, and it was fun. We used to make igloos, the kids, when we are
Mm,
having uh, snow fights. We make like we call them citadels. That you make a translation. It basically was four wall, and we had to destroy uh, the other citadel. It's make like those games like Castle Rock or something like that.
right,
It was quite fun. With we were making a train out of sleds, because from Romania each kid has a sled, at least one.
right.
So we gather all, and we were making a train, and some neighbor who has a car, they were, he was dragging us really really slow. It was safe, not like it was fun times.
It's rare we even get to like have enough snow for a sled. And here, when we do, all the shops sell out sleds because now all of a sudden everybody wants one.
No, we had them custom made, like they're not made of plastic. They were made from wood and iron, forged iron,
Right.
and the seating was made of wood. And there were everywhere the slates. You could buy one. It wasn't a problem to find a sled during winter here. No. And during summer we are melting. It's the opposite.
Yeah. So one extreme to another.
Yep, yep, yep.
Extreme heat to extreme cold.
During the autumn, the spring is the best time here. Like 20 degrees, both seasons. I don't know. In England, I think you measure up in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Temperature.
Celsius.
Celsius. So okay. I don't know the other metrics. Um,
I have to Google it to work it out.
yeah, for example, I don't know how to calculate in inches and miles. For me, it doesn't make sense. 1 ounce is it's shortened with OZ, something like that. If I want to go to a store and give me 100 OZ, it doesn't make sense. In Romania, it's like 100 grams. Give me G. It's grams.
Mm,
The abbreviation. And it's from 10 to 10, getting like centimeter. 100 centimeter is 1 meter. For me, it's making sense, but the other measurements, no, that are
yeah.
in. I think in UK, especially in length, you don't use meters or centimeters, no, right?
I use
You are
inches
inches,
mostly. Yeah.
and for weight, you are using stones, right, or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Stones
yeah,
and pounds.
stones and pound. Now for us, kilograms.
I have to convert stuff into kilograms.
Yeah, yeah. I think you have an application like that on your phone, right? Or you're
I have to
doing.
go online and just look up
Ah,
conversion.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's like that with money as well, because like we work in pounds and then other people's monies in something else and
Yeah,
work out
it's
what it
strange
is.
because pounds there is a currency as well. It's a measurement unit, right? It's
Mm.
pronounced the same, pounds, right? For the
So you got
money and
pound sterling for the money and then
yeah,
pound in weight.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like how much how much how much what do I wait? Do I how you say the value? I It's slipping my mind. Oh, so do you have any plans for Halloween? For the actually holiday?
Um, I'm gonna go out Friday.
There's a party or something like that?
There's a rock night at one of our local nightclubs.
Mm.
So we're gonna go to the rock night. For actual Halloween, we're not sure whether we're gonna be able to handle doing like Friday night and Sunday night. So I think we're gonna see how we feel after
Mhm.
going out on Friday night,
So
and then
you don't have in your city, you don't have a rock pub or something like that?
well, we used to have a rock when I first left home. My mate took me to this rock bar, and it became like my second home. I was there all the time. Worked there 3 times, but it got shut down a few years after I'd been going there. So we didn't have anywhere to really go for a while. So then they opened up a different rock bar, and then that one shut. So again, we haven't had anywhere to go for a while. So
But
another
why
pub.
it shut down? It didn't have many customers
Well, the first one got raided by the police because there were always like
oh
a
fighting.
few people in there. Like we'd have lock-ins, so we'd have beer after the pub was closed.
Okay, for here's the same thing happening in Romania, but everyone is talking to each other, everyone is civil.
So the police were always coming, trying to check
Yeah, in my
if you
city,
shut, and then some people in there were doing drugs, so there was always coming in to check about drugs, and in
no,
the end,
here
they
is
shut the place
safe
down.
with the drugs. Only weed. It's I think just it's the only drug. Let's say if we consider weed a drug, but it's safe. Like in my city, like there are three rock pubs, um, like that, and all of them are full. It's a big rock community in my city, so the and all of them are really really civil. Like I said, uh, just before closing, the waiters are announcing is the last order. Everyone goes to the bar, grabs how many beers or how many bottles of whiskey, vodka they want. They go outside, continue to drink, having a chat. If people are getting drunk, they are going home. It's like really really safe. You see them realizing they're drunks and they're going home.
Do you get many like wanting to fight when they're drunk
No,
over there? Because we have a
never. I never
problem with that
saw them.
here.
Never. I never saw a fight. And I go out every weekend. Never, because
So people,
all of them on that pubs knew each, are knowing each other. We are friends, and
mm,
no, it's not
so
happening.
you've got
Never.
a better temperament. But then my friend who's from Romania, he's so laid back. Like
It's
he's
laid back.
really chilled. Yeah, really really
Yeah, I
chilled.
think we are chilled. Let's say chill as a people.
Yeah.
But still, some of us you don't realize we have Latin blood. I don't know if many people know Romanians are Latins by heritage. Our language is a Romance language, like
Right.
it's related to Italian. For example, a Romanian and Italian could instead each other if are speaking. It's quite similar. I don't know if you
No, I don't know.
know about
No.
this, or did you hear your friend talking in Romanian?
Very rarely. He doesn't like to. Like, what the building I live in, a lot of my neighbours are Romanian, so sometimes I'll say to him what they're saying. Like, if they're having an argument or something, I'm like, what they're saying, because I can't understand. And he's like, oh. And then he'll listen, and then he'll tell me, and then I'll say, what's this word in Romanian? I don't know. Like, how did you learn English? Because he learned it like really young.
As
He
well,
taught
really young.
himself, I think.
Yeah, I was watching Cartoon Network a lot.
He said
So
he learned a lot from TV.
yeah, from TV because in Romania we don't have subtitles. Oh, we don't have dubbing. We have only subtitles. So no, I've learned it from, especially from Cartoon Network. Well,
I can't remember. He told me one show he used to watch, and he said he picked up a lot, and then he started reading a lot. So then you pick up more words. But it's funny because every now and then I'll say an English word, and he's like, "What does that
maybe
mean?"
yeah, maybe I don't know if maybe is the accent because we are used to the American one as a
Right.
Romanian. Yeah, for example, like from movies, because my father was and he's a big cinephile. We we watch all kind of movie, even though he is a JW. I was allowed to watch all kind of movies, even rated
Right.
R. He was a big fan of the Sylvester Stallone movies and
Wow.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. So he he said it was a matter of conscience, and he doesn't feel that he done something wrong by watching a movie, and it is making sense. Basically,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a movie. When I heard people JW weren't allowed to watch Titanic, why?
Mm.
And someone told me because of that scene with what's her name, Kate Winslet, when she is naked.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that was a big no. Uh, if a movie has a bit of nudity or a bit of violence, it was forbidden for.
Yes. Or a swear word.
Yeah. But in Romania, the swear word doesn't to translate to like literally. They're sorts of up in the subtitles. I don't know if we are allowed to swear in this broadcast. But for example, sorry, fuck you. It was translated like in Romanian "go to hell," so it was really mild. Like
I was
yeah,
watching. I don't know if you've heard of Squid Game.
yeah. I've seen it, but I have two episode left.
So when I was watching that, like there was the subtitles, and then there was a translation. So I turned the translation on, and one of them it kept saying "fuck, fuck, fuck," but it wasn't coming up in the subtitles. But they kept saying it, and it was just like, okay, so which one's the right version?
I use the subtitles always.
I did in the end because like,
Yeah, I'm used to them, and for me it's not a problem to keep attention, on the subtitle and on the movie because I grew up like that, reading subtitles for all movies.
mm,
But it is interesting, this one, Squid Game.
yeah, I've really liked it so far.
Have you finished it?
Yes,
Yeah,
I watched it within about 2 3 days.
I'm on the last episode that I've seen. It was the one with the marbles. They had the games with the marbles. It was really
Uh,
sad, that one.
that made me cry.
Yeah, when the old man
Well, I
died,
just
and
teared up. I was just like, wow,
my
that's
favorite
just like,
character was the Pakistani guy, and I was so sad when he died.
Yeah,
Ali, I think it was the character's name.
it was so good. But like, I'm in some groups on Facebook for Netflix recommendations, and it's one of those ones that people have loved it or hated it.
Who?
On in the group, you've always got
Okay.
people saying, "Oh, I loved it," and then you've got people saying they hated it. So it's like, but I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, it is. It is good. Yeah. And Parasite, another Korean. It wasn't. I don't know if you saw it.
I think
The
so.
one
That
that
sounds
won the
familiar.
Oscar a few years back. With
I
that
think it
family
sounds
that
familiar.
got infiltrated in a rich house. Um, in and there was someone locked in the basement at the end,
Sounds familiar, but like,
and yeah,
I
it won
watched
the
so much stuff, I forget.
it won the Oscar for best movie, I think, in 2019.
Hmm. I go through phases where I watch more series than films.
Yes. What's the last one? I loved, if you have seen the trial of this Chicago 7. It is on Netflix as well. It was
No.
yeah, this movie is it's really great. It's about an anti-war protest that was in Chicago during the 70s, and things didn't go well over there, and
Right.
it became like a public trial
Oh, okay.
for them. They were accused of like undermining the homeland security, something really the accusations were big. Like, let's say they were facing like the life imprisonment or something like that for trespassing the state line and inciting to riot. That was, but it wasn't the case. I would recommend you if you. And there's an amazing performance done by Sacha Baron Cohen.
Hmm.
For me, it was a mind blowing seeing him in a serious role, because I knew him from Borat, from LAG.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you wouldn't expect him to be serious.
yeah. He's a really good serious actor. Now Netflix, I don't know. I'm currently watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's about Larry David, the co-creator of Seinfeld. If you have watched Seinfeld,
I'm not really into sitcoms. I've watched bits of it.
for me that's the only sitcom that I'd watch. Seinfeld, because it has credible characters. For me, it's not like Friends. I don't believe
Yeah.
that one guy is a pantheologist, or no, the characters from Friends are not believable. Neither of them.
I was never a big Friends fan.
No. Well, it's an unpopular opinion. I don't like Friends. I think it's not good.
No.
So, from what city are you from? In England?
I was born in Birmingham, which is like the next
Ah, I
biggest
know, I know.
city
Yeah, the city of Ozzy Osbourne
compared
and
to
Black
London.
Sabbath.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
I was
Peaky
born.
Blinders.
Yeah. So it's the next best city. Well, next biggest city compared to London. So I was born there, and
It's
then I
on.
moved
It's in the south,
Birmingham.
right? It's in the south.
I'm in the Midlands.
Oh, so
So
it's a.
London's more south,
Okay, so
and
okay,
I'm from
yeah.
Birmingham, which is like we're called the Midlands, so it's right in the middle of the UK. Um, so I'm from there. I was born in Birmingham, and then we moved to Tamworth, which is like the city next to Birmingham.
So you stayed in the same area, basically,
Yeah.
more. because I was born in Brasov, that's in Transylvania, and now I'm living in Iași, like it's the second biggest city in Romania, and it's in the northern part of the country, in the region called Moldavia. It's right
I've
to the
moved
border.
around my town a bit, but I haven't moved out of town. But then my sister, she's moved right down south of the country, to Kent. So she's right on the coast, and she really wants me to move down there, and it is really nice down
It's
there. So
how's the weather up there? It's it's I think it's better, right? In
yeah, it's
this
always
in
warmer, and
and
just the atmosphere is just more chilled down there.
the weather is good for going to a beach day over there.
Yeah, it can be windy. It can still be cold.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's nice.
For me, every year I have to go to the sea, so
Mm.
it's a tradition for me going out to the sea.
See, I'm miles from the sea, so
I'm as well. It's like 500 kilometers from the sea, but still, it's the sea is in Romania, so I usually when I'm going on a holiday and I'm staying there like for a week. And when I was in university, I went with the tent with my mates. We're camping on the shore.
mm.
It was really, really nice.
I won't be
But
dinner.
in the
Oh no.
during morning, it was a bit chilly, but with a bit of vodka, everything was fine.
Warms the blood.
Yeah, yeah. But then after I got hired and I finished the studies, it wasn't necessity going out with the tent because I could afford an accommodation.
Mm.
When I was student, no, because I had other priorities with money during that time, like
Is
having
it?
fun, like
Yeah, partying.
spending on drinks, almost all of them drinks and food. That's it. Because accommodation it was free. The I didn't pay any taxes because in Romania it's free. The superior school, like the university, is free. Or if you have big grades during high school, you're getting free studies in the college.
Cool.
It's like in the North country. It's the socialist system. So we have free medical insurance if you are hired. Basically, I don't need to pay for nothing when I getting sick.
That's
That's
why I like
that.
we've got the NHS here.
Yeah. For example, in UK, if you call the ambulance, do you have to pay something for that services? No,
No.
because I know in the United States it's charged that thing.
Yes. And if you
And
stay in hospital.
yeah, yeah, for staying in hospital as well, it's free in Romania. I think it's as well in the UK. You're paying for
Yes.
something. Oh, it's free. Okay.
Free. Yeah.
Just if you are having medical insurance. If you don't, you have to pay in Romania as well. If you don't have medical insurance.
See here,
But
if you have medication on what they call prescription,
yeah, we have those as well, free.
it's free
Or
if you're not working, but if you're working, you have to pay.
it's exactly the opposite in Romania because only
Hmm.
if you are working, you have medical insurance. If you're not working, then you don't have medical insurance and you have to pay for everything. And the prescription, like some of them are 100% free, some of them 20%, 25% off, some of them 50%. But the majority, it's like 100% free, especially for the elderly uh, people.
Hmm.
The ambulance just passed.
No, someone's music really loud, dodgy music from their car.
Oh, it sounded like an ambulance passing
No,
by.
some weird music. Sounded like some weird country music.
So how long usually your makeup is taking to put on?
Ages. I was gonna
Okay.
say you don't have to stay until I'm
No, no,
finished
no.
because I
Just
can just like
I was just curious. Have you tried going professional?
no, like it's. I enjoy to do it as an art, but then doing it on somebody else, it's harder. And like
Especially those kind like special effects, like maybe.
and like doing it because you can lean your hand on yourself and move around yourself, and doing that on somebody else, it's
It's
harder. And
a bit weird to lean on the person's face or so, right?
everyone's got different skin, and you need to learn different techniques. And then like you feel like, am I pressing on too hard on someone? So no, I don't know if I'd enjoy it as a job. I think it was stressful.
Yeah, I think it's paid well. For example, in Romania, I have friends that are makeup artists, like regular, like they're getting paid well.
And then I can't do normal makeup.
Oh,
It's always like it's going to be like goth makeup because I can't.
mm,
My brain can't just do normal makeup. When people say to me do my makeup, they always end up looking goth.
mhm. So those are special kits, right? Like that foam or something like clay.
This, it's just like
No, the one like looks like dripping on your face is clay.
oh, that was liquid latex.
Oh, okay, okay.
So what I did was just put it on I don't know if you have there like grease proof paper, like baking paper, so it
Ah,
doesn't
yeah, yeah,
things
yeah,
don't stick to it.
yeah.
So what I did was just got the bottle and squirted it and just dripped it down that and let it dry.
Mhm. Still, it's a nice passion. It's a nice
Yeah.
hobby.
So I always used to get told off by the elders because I used to wear goth makeup to the Kinder. But I was like, but it's art. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, like Marilyn Manson's makeup.
Mhm.
I used to go to the meeting looking like Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, I d- for example, I like I said, I like metal, but his music I don't like. I don't dig it. Like I think it was the only let's say mainstream rocker that I didn't like as a teenager.
Hmm.
I know for me it was something off about him. I
So
like
what rock?
more his kind of heavy metal singing.
So what rock did you first get into?
Oh, the first Nightwish. It was my first rock band that I
My
would.
Romanian friend likes Nightwish.
Yeah, I was drawn by Marco's voice. It was like a pure metal voice, and I didn't heard anything like that until then. And then I started with the classics like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Queen. I enjoy very much. For me, Fred is like the best voice in rock. Uh, then I started getting to harder and harder metal, like even to black metal,
Hmm.
like and then Maiden I like very much.
One of the
Metal,
guys from my town was in Iron Maiden.
yeah,
You
Blaze,
know, yeah, Blaze Bailey. He was in my.
yeah,
He lived in my town.
yeah. I saw him in concert with. He came a few years ago in Romania and had a concert in one of the pubs that I told you about here.
He's a nice guy. He came back to mine for drinks after the pub. But I was never really into them. They're too. I like metal, but I don't like metal that's too screechy.
Like okay,
So if it's like a really high pitched, I'm just like,
for me, if,
nah.
I even I like those. Like it sounds like the devil is singing. I like those. With really really gravelly voice and
Yeah, I prefer deep voice.
yeah.
I think that's why I don't like a lot of metal women singers because of they're too like screechy for me. It's got to be like a really.
For example, in Nightwish, the new girl, she's in Nightwish for a few years ago. Floor, she's amazing. When I saw her, when I seen her on YouTube in Wacken in Germany,
Right.
singing some songs. She is an opera singer, and for me, it sounded good because I know that, for example, the heavy metal music is really based on the classical music. It has the same structure.
Mm.
If, for example, if you go in on YouTube and you search, for example, classic composers on heavy metal, you see how much it's similar, and you realize that it sounded a lot like metal, not classical music. For example, Vivaldi, his music is like purely metal when it's played on the electric guitar.
That's probably why when I was younger I hated classical and now I really appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, me
But I used to
too.
hate it.
I started to like classical music when I was in the uni, and I saw the movie Amadeus. For me, that movie blew my mind, and
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
it's about Mozart.
Is that where that song came from?
Uh, I don't think so. No, no,
From the 80s?
no, 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 no. I don't think it's. It's about the life of Mozart and his rivalry with Salieri, a composer. But now, I would recommend that movie of Amadeus. It's really good. But no, now I really really enjoy classical music. It's on the background when I'm working. It's like it's really chilling me out.
Yeah, no, if I listen to Pavarotti and Nessun Dorma, it makes me cry. It makes me emotional. And I used to hate it.
Yeah, Pavarotti. Yeah. Me as a kid, I hated Pavarotti, but now I like it.
I
I like
did.
him. I don't know why, because it's it sounded fancy, and I didn't understood it. It's one guy, it's yelling something, and yeah,
And as a kid, you don't understand the emotion behind it.
yep, yep.
And then right at the end, when he's like, he is almost crying, it's just like, oh my god,
Yeah,
like
the
that was
lyrics
really
are amazing.
emotional.
You have to read the lyrics for Nessun Dorma.
And I'll tell you what else got me into classical music. Do you know Carl Orff? He
No,
did, it's called A Fortuna.
no,
And he
I
used,
don't. For example, if I am going to hear it, I think I might
it's
recognize
like,
it.
dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, I think I know, but I don't know the composer. For example, a lot of classical music, when I hear it, I recognize it, especially from the cartoons, or from the Bugs Bunny cartoons. In those, they were playing a lot of classical music on the early Looney Tunes from the 30s. I don't know if
Hmm.
you remember.
It's used a lot. The X Factor used it as their opening tune. If you ever watched X Factor,
Yeah, I watch it. But the Romanian version, not
Oh, I
the
didn't. Yeah, so
international
it's
version. I just watched them on the YouTube. I was more into. I like the voice, that format. I liked it a lot.
but yeah, like that tune was amazing, and I was just like, oh wow, I actually like some classical music, and that got me into it then.
Yeah. For example, I hate now. Even now, I don't like musicals at all. But the only
I
one that
don't.
Les Mis it was the single one that I liked.
I think I liked Rocky Horror
Ah, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That one.
because that was
Yeah.
one of the first ones I was introduced when I left the religion. My mate went,
Yeah.
watch this, and I was like, oh, don't like musicals, and she went,
And
watch
Jesus
this.
Christ Superstar was
I haven't
okay.
seen that yet. I wanted to. I was thinking, shall I?
You, the covers are really good. They are sung by Deep Purple vocalist.
Right.
But it was that was I remember I was in the Kingdom Hall when they said that Jesus Christ Superstar became quite popular in Romania, and especially the soundtrack. And they had one of the elders had a speech about Jesus Christ Superstar that it's satanic and don't listen to that.
I can imagine. Only their version is allowed.
But for example, if they saw it or the listening they saw that is really the representation of the of Jesus. There's nothing, let's say, that is satanic in that musical, but still, they're
Mm,
hearing something. They're not watching for themselves. They're not thinking for themselves, and they're making assumptions about something.
yes.
Yeah, that is satanic, or if the geezers from the governing body are saying so, it's all of them are like a yes man. They're not questioning anything.
Mm,
They're not thinking
sheep.
rationally. Yeah, sheep. It's a yeah, it's a flock mentality in all the cults. And
I'm just glad
some
I was like a black sheep. I never really
yeah,
like.
yeah, me too. Because I
I
couldn't
was always in
imagine.
trouble.
I was quite good. For example, even now I don't smoke. It's okay for me. I think it's a good choice for me because I don't smoke, but I couldn't say no to a pint of beer.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
I used to
never
go out
understood.
and get pissed.
I could, for me, I never understood the thing about smoking. It tastes badly. At first you choke up, and what's the thing with that? It doesn't give you anything, any rush, any nothing.
When I left, one of the first things I said to my friend is, right, let me try your cigarette. She passed it me, and I was like, what?
Yeah,
Why
exactly
do
like that.
people
What?
like that?
Yeah, it tastes like shit, and no, it's
Yeah,
not.
I expected it to be really nice, and I was like, what? How? Like,
You
that's
should have got
gross.
a menthol one, but
I
I've
think it
tried
was a
once.
menthol one.
Oh, yeah, yeah, no.
I couldn't taste no menthol in it. I was like, where is the menthol in that?
I think it has a slight odor of mint, but just like it.
Just tasted as bad. I was like, why do people enjoy that? Like, I never understood. Because my real dad, um, he didn't want anything to do with the religion. So him and my mum separated. But he used
Mhm.
to smoke a lot. So whenever we used to go to his, we was used to him smoking, but I'd never ever tried it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was shocked when it tasted that bad because it tasted to me like how an ashtray smells.
Yeah,
And I
it's
was
the
like,
same
but
thing for me. It's
why?
kissing a girl who smokes. It's like it's not as a non-smoker. I had only one
Hmm.
girlfriend that did smoke, and it wasn't great. Sorry if I uh, make. Look,
I'm not.
there's Jeffrey Tom who would like to add to the conversation.
Okay, it's not. It is John. Sorry, I didn't see the comment. I'm getting there slowly. These things take hours to build up. Someone tried to come in earlier, but then it didn't work. It wasn't connecting.
Okay. Still no. I as well when I was just finishing high school and I was talking with the some elders at the congregation that I want to go to university. They politely said that I should think better if I really want to go that way, uh, because I don't. They didn't give me a good reason from, and I say, okay, this is something I want to go to study because I'm on major in literature and minor in
Yeah,
history.
yeah. Okay.
So for me, it really like opened my mind in the university
Hmm.
a lot, reading, and
I can imagine it would.
it was an opening experience, mind-opening experience in a lot of ways.
I mean, how dare you do something where you think a lot?
Yeah, when you where you think by yourself
Mm-hmm.
and you see that maybe you're reading something that it contradicts the Bible and say how the Bible sometimes, not sometimes, a lot, it's contradicting itself, and there's things that are not making sense in the. Okay, so I really had a conversation with one of the others after my first year when I finished my first year, and he stopped and said, "Let's stop. We are getting into polemics, and let's stop."
Right.
He didn't have the arguments. So okay, for example, no, I'm not mad with anyone. I still when I go back to my hometown and I see someone, I say hello to them. They're saying back. They are asking me how are you, and just if they're starting having the conversation, a religious conversation, I say have to go. Sorry, I'm in a hurry.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not. For example, I'm not. I don't want to get into fights, so I prefer to leave. I'm
Well,
calm.
none of them
The
talk to me, so I don't have to even fuss. But
no, no. For me, they are talking. Like I said, I'm not. I wasn't but baptized, and I wasn't this fellowship.
yeah, yeah.
So they are talking. They're still in that. In the my mother, she's sending me like all mothers, for example, I that I've seen on the group. They are sending me links with publications with. She's thinking the end is near, and I say the end is near from 1940, and
Yeah.
nothing happened.
See, in a way, I'm kind of glad I don't have to go through that. But it's like bittersweet at the same time. It's like, yeah.
I said, well, give me a break. Don't start with the religion. And she's listening because I'm leaving the room, or I okay, I'm leaving if you start. And she stops. My
That's
father as
cool.
well. My no, my father respects my opinion. He doesn't bring up the religious conversation.
At least that's good that they've got respect for the other way.
Yeah, because no, we are 3 brothers. None of us are baptized.
Right. Oh, you're all sensible there.
Yeah. So your sister is baptized? You said you have that?
Yes. I was baptised when I was 13. My sister got baptised when I think she was about 15. And my brother got baptised when he was about 15 or 16.
So all of them are still practicants of the religion?
No, my brother left about 4 years after I did. And then my sister left 14 years after I did.
Okay, so she stayed a while.
Yeah, she was married. She got married not long after I left. Her husband was very abusive. She got disfellowshipped once and then she went back. And then she got disfellowshipped again and without even a judicial committee. The
That's
elders
big.
went round to her house and they tried to read her some scriptures and she was like, "Get out of my house, don't come to my house trying to read the Bible like to me." And the next thing she knew, she was disfellowshipped.
That's, yeah.
And she hadn't even met with the elders. It's like, how can they disfellowship you when you haven't even met with the elders? But they kind of did to her what they did to me. When I left, I moved it. Well, I told my mum and stepdad, I don't want to go to the meetings anymore. So they said to
Yeah.
me, well, we're going to give you 4 weeks to move out. No, 8 weeks to move out and find somewhere to live. I was
No.
working part-time. I had no savings. So I had no money. So I was like, what am I going to do? So my nan worked for this loan company, which was like really high interest loan. So she managed to get me some money. And then I started talking to this guy who was an unbaptized publisher, and he was always like in and out, never like fully in, he never got baptized. So my boss at work, it was her birthday party. And my mum and stepdad says to me, if you go to that birthday party, you're not welcome home. So that birthday party was like 4 weeks into my 8 weeks notice, because they said to me they want me to move out because I'll influence my brother and sister. So they said, if you go to that birthday party, you're not welcome home. And I was like, well, I've got nowhere to go anyway. So the guy who I was talking to says, well, you can come and move in with me. So I was like, you sure? And he says, yes. So I went to the birthday party. So then obviously I had to move out, went and collected all my stuff, and then moved in with this guy.
That's strange when a parent kicks a children off. It's not rich. It's not natural.
Yeah.
And it's sad, kicking off a child out of the home.
And because like I only worked part-time, because as you know, they try and make you knock doors most of the time. So most of my time was spent like knocking doors. So I only worked a few hours. So how was I supposed to like move out and fully support myself?
Yep, no. For me,
But it's what they expected. So I moved out, and then some girl who I was friends with, there was other girls that were supposed to move out with me. There was going to be about 4 of us move out together. They all backed out. I left on my own. I worked with one of them. She went and told her dad, who was an elder, that I'd had sex with the guy that I'd moved in with. So her elder dad told my elder stepdad. So then the elders knew, and then when I went to pick up the rest of my stuff, they says to me, if you don't go to the judicial meeting, we'll have to go. And I just thought I'd put them through enough. I didn't want them to have to go to the judicial meeting, so I went. And they were just basically like, so you've had sex? I was like, yeah. You're going to do it again? Yes. And they just said, well, basically, we've got no option other to disfellowship you. So I was just like, okay. And they shook my hand. And I left. And that was 25 years ago. And obviously, they don't speak to me since.
Yeah, that's good that you left surprise again. Just doesn't make for me any sense. I know those reasons for this fellowship.
You know, but then
Yeah,
you've got people who have raped children.
yeah, that's a big problem. Big
Do you
for
know what I mean? And they get to stay in the congregation because they say they're sorry.
Yep, yep. And for
I
me,
had
I
sex as
never
an
heard.
adult.
That's a problem. But raping a child, that's calling a
Yeah,
rape. It's not abusing. It's even worse than abusing.
but I had adult consensual sex and I was disfellowshipped for it. It doesn't make sense. It's like,
Yeah, and for me in Romania, I didn't hear any of child abuses except for not sexual abuses, just getting beaten by parents that I heard of. But abusing sexual child, I first thing that I heard it was on the Ex W group.
mm,
I didn't knew about that. I really still I don't think someone made an investigation about child abuses in the JW community in Romania. So I don't know if they are documents or even lawsuits against members.
I think some places are more ahead, like Australia and Netherlands, because the Netherlands went and raided the Kingdom Walls and got the files. So I think it
In
just
Russia as
depends.
well. In Russia as
Yeah,
well. But in Russia,
yeah, because
not
they
based on
banned in
the
Russia, weren't they?
yeah, it's banned, but not for abuse. It's for other reasons. They think they're
A
a
cult.
threat on
Yeah.
the Russian government or something like that.
I mean, to be fair, they probably are because they
Yeah,
say obey God. So they'd say obey, God rather than the Russian government. So
yeah, they make a big thing about that. A lot of people I saw that they're saying that is the beginning of the tribulation or so what it's called in English.
the Great Tribulation.
Yeah, the Great Tribulations. Yeah, and
What isn't the start of that
it's.
though?
I know that my mother she was scared shitless about this thing because she's terrified of Armageddon. As a kid I was as well. I used to have
Yeah.
night terrors about dying in Armageddon in horrible ways. And like I said, those pictures in the publications, in especially in the Revelation book, in the red one, they were horrifying to see as a
Mm-hmm.
child. That locust man with the body of the horse, head
Yes,
of
I
a
know the
man.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was terrifying.
Like I don't even believe Armageddon's gonna happen, but I still
No,
get
no, I don't
nightmares.
believe. I don't
I
believe
still
in
have
God.
nightmares about it though.
Yeah, no,
That's how
I
weird it is.
got over it. No, uh, but still, that's not gonna happen for my. I'm saying that is my opinion. It's, it's never going to happen.
No, I call it Armageddon
Yeah, and
because never gonna happen.
the new thing that she was saying about the new light, and I said, Mother, but you remember that you're truly believing only after the generation of anointed will die, the Armageddon
Oh
will
yeah,
come. Yes, look, all of them have died, and nothing has come. And
this
they're saying about
generation
it,
will not pass
yeah,
away. Well,
yeah.
it kind of did.
Yeah, all of them, and they're saying about wait, not the generation in another sense, in the literally sense that if they still have, it's the overlapping generation, something like that.
That's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, I've never even looked into it. I've seen people
no, no,
talk
me
about
neither.
it in the
Because
group, but I'm like,
yeah,
that's so stupid. I don't even want to know.
yeah, it's okay. If you are there, you realize they have to the geezers at the governing body, they have to come up with something that because if they don't, the religion is going to fall apart, and
Yeah.
people still believe their bullshit, and yeah, it's sad
And
because
it makes you wonder, like, did they sit there again? Do you think they'll fall for it? Do you think? Do you think they'll take it? Do you think they'll like go, yes, this new generation thing, that's a good thing?
yeah,
Oh,
if the idea had success, and many of them, if the governing body is saying so, it's like this. We don't have to question it. If you're
yeah,
questioning it, you're becoming an apostate.
yes.
Yeah. So
Just
yeah,
shut up and obey.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Still, good. Thanks to this group because I know I'm up to new things that the governing body is coming up with.
Keeps you updated. I like to keep up with some of it. I won't go like, I don't know if you watch Lloyd Evans.
No, 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 no.
I
I
don't watch
think I
some of
know
his
the guy.
stuff
Is
because I don't
the
want to
guy
get,
with a beard?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It was an elder, right? At
yeah.
some point. Yep, yep. Yeah, I know. I know some of his videos.
I don't watch too much of his stuff because I don't want to get too much into
Mm.
everything they're saying now. It doesn't interest me. You know, I like to prove their theories are wrong and their doctrines are wrong, but I don't want to get into. They listen to like a whole assembly that's like 4 hours, and I'm like, no, I hated doing that back in the day. I'm
No,
not going to sit and listen to all that now.
I wanted exactly. I wanted to leave quickly during the assemblies. I was looking up to the clock like from 5 to 5 minutes.
Yes,
It was only 2 hours, but oh my god, it passed so hard the time during the assemblies.
it was boring. Like especially when you had like 3 day
Yeah, it was the
conventions.
Bible study, then it was the ministries, the theocratic school, and during the Saturdays or Sundays it was the watchtower
Yeah, but I'm talking
thing.
about the big conventions, you know,
Oh
where
yeah, yeah, the 3 days
you had to
convention.
go for days.
Yeah, no, I was in vacation because during summer I spent my all the 3 months I spent at my grandparents' house. They were also GW because on my mother's side I'm a fourth generation,
I'm
but
third.
but they were leaving me in peace. They went to the conventions, and for me, my grandfather and my sister told us, "Stay here with the animals. We are going to the convention." For us, it
Oh,
was okay.
lucky you.
We had to feed the hens, to feed the horse, the cow, and that's it.
I'd rather do that than sit at a convention.
Yeah, because I always, I think I was only once or twice at the big conventions, and the only interesting thing for me it was the drama, just as a kid. The rest of
Yes.
them, it bored the shit out of me, and I couldn't sleep because it was in a stadium. It,
We wasn't allowed to sleep. We had to pay attention all the time. It was like, don't you dare fall asleep.
I had so many. I remember having many bathroom breaks just to get out and to move. And the bathroom it was really far on that stadium. It took a while, and always I was taking my time to come back.
We was only allowed to go to the bathroom in the song.
Oh, just it. But for
And
me
if it
now,
wasn't back in time for the prayer, we were in trouble.
now for us it was you can go during the sermon, but stay during the songs and prayer because that's the time when you praise Jehovah. So it was the opposite for me.
Imagine it.
Yeah, at least it won't quake the songs and the prayer. And I remember there always was one guy that he was having the prayer way too long, and
Mm,
my legs started to numb up because staying in the same position. It wasn't.
If it's finished and then you, oh shit, they haven't finished, and they just like carry on, you'd be like, oh god. Like some of them prayers went on forever.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, and he was talking really, really nonsense in that prayer. Yeah, glad that I haven't seen in a while. Last time that I heard JW prayer, it was at my grandfather's funeral, and that's it. Uh, it. It was in 2016, so it's almost
Mm.
how many years? 6 years? 6 years? More, 5 years. Yeah. So
I tell you what, I used to hate my elder stepdad. The family prayer sometimes.
oh
He,
yeah.
he'd be saying the family prayer
Ju-
before dinner,
yeah, yeah. For
and then he'd go in the, oh,
before
every
every meal.
meal,
Yeah, during
and then he'd
breakfast,
go
during lunch.
before he'd finish. He'd be like, "Emma, do you want to take over?" And I'd be like, "No, what?"
Yeah,
And he'd let me
yeah.
take over the prayer, and I'd be like,
No,
"What? Why do
whereas
you do that?"
my father always tell the prayer.
He would, but I think he'd do it just to catch me out sometimes to make sure I was listening.
Yeah, I think he knew that the kids weren't paying attention.
Well, every
That's
time we got back from a meeting, we'd get back and have our Sunday dinner, and then my stepdad would go, "So what did you learn today at the meeting?" I'd sit there and think,
yeah.
"Shit, what was
I
the talk actually about?" Because I would just daydream and not listen to any of it. So I'd just
yeah.
be like, "Oh God, I don't even know what the subject was."
I remember I used to. He told me to memorize the daily text, the daily verse. I don't. Did you have something like that?
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was like a great book, and every day it has
yes,
a verse from the Bible, and it has a
yes.
short explanation. And I, some members at the Kingdom Hall used to tell me the daily verse from today, and okay, I don't know the verse. So it was awkward. I felt really, really bad when I remember that it was always a member who was putting this question to kids, especially to kids. And my
Mm.
father used, you should start learning them by to memorize them.
Oh,
Yeah, it was awful. And I remember before Watchtower magazine, we have to prepare and underline the answer and all the. Uh,
mm-hmm.
yeah, at least you have to answer to one question. At he
Well,
was
I tell
saying
you
to
what
me.
we did, because there was three of us. So we used to take it in turns. So one of us would underline the watchtower and give it to my brother or sister, and then we'd just copy it. So we
Yeah,
didn't have to study it. But then we, at one meeting, my mum went, "Why are all your answers exactly the same, underlined?" And we were like, "Oh." Um, and then she realised
thing.
what we were doing. So we carried on doing it, but we was like, just underlined slightly different. So they can't
Yeah,
tell.
I remember when I was really, really young, I liked to answer because I had a microphone in my hand, and for me it was something wow when I was like 4 years or 5 years. But
Right.
then it was a dread to answer
Yeah,
to
I hated it.
all of them in the front. And I remember how full of them were the members who carried the microphone.
Microphone duty.
Yeah, and especially the ones that were in charge of sound.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they were always in the back of the room, and for me, when I was like a kid, for me it was very interesting because they had so many buttons. They had like a mixer station, and they had so many buttons, and I always wanted to push those buttons.
That's what I'd be doing. I'd just be like playing, pressing the buttons like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But my
That
stepdad, because I stopped answering upright for about 2 years before I left. And this used to really irritate my stepdad because we came for the meeting. He'd be like, "Why do you want to?" I'd be like, "I didn't want to." So when he used to do the book study,
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
go to somebody's house, he'd ask the question and go, "So, question, Emma."
Okay, so he was in charge of the study.
Yeah, and he'd just
Yeah.
directly ask me, "Or who wants to read this paragraph?" Emma, read it. I'd be like, "You can't do that.
No,
That's not fair."
for example, during the Bible studies during the week, I think it was on Wednesday or Tuesday, something like that. Uh, there was one person who read the paragraphs. Not, for example, if one person started, that person is going to finish the reading the.
Right.
Yeah, just one.
They
And
did that on a Sunday here, but on a Thursday night, the book study, they asked for volunteers.
yeah, oh, they were always volunteers because it was something wow for some of the members reading up into the front of the congregation, well, especially in the book studies, Bible study. I think there was a part of the congregation, the ones who lived near or in the same area at someone's home. It wasn't the full congregation. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah, still, yeah, and
But I hated even reading then, but my stepdad had just put me on the spot and made me do it.
it
I'd be like,
was held at your
that's
house.
not fair. Yeah, it used to kind of go around to different people's houses.
Yeah, yeah,
So I think it'd be like a few months at our house and a few months at somebody else's house.
yeah.
So yeah, it just depends.
I remember my mother. She was really glad when the study wasn't held out our house anymore because she had to make a spot on cleaning on the house, and it was really stressful for her putting up chairs and going to the neighbors
Yeah.
and asking for chairs. And
And I hated as well afterwards. I was the one that always used to have to make everybody the drinks. So I'd have to go around the whole room and go, "Who wants a cup of tea? Who wants a cup of coffee?
you
Who
have
wants
those
cake?"
no, we have only water in Romania. We don't.
Oh no, we did
So it's
that.
okay. I know because it's a thing with tea in England. So no,
Yeah.
coffee in Romania. We don't drink coffee after noon. It's
Oh,
yeah, only in the morning.
are you guys not tough enough to drink coffee in the afternoon?
We don't need it because for me, most of us we are drinking just in the morning. That's it. The coffee. We are
See,
like Italians. We Italians as well. Don't you don't see an Italian drinking coffee afternoon or especially cappuccino. It's a blasphemy for an Italian to drink cappuccino during the noon or
yeah,
evening. Yeah, only in the morning.
that explains something because my friend who's Romanian, if he has two coffees, he's literally buzzing his tits off and he's just like, oh my god, I'm so like buzzing. And
Yeah.
I'm like, how
No.
from like two coffees? I drink
Yeah.
strong coffee all day and it doesn't even affect me.
Yeah, because we are not used to coffee. We don't drink that much of a coffee. Only one in the morning and that's it. Oh, even if we drink that coffee in the morning. But no.
So
Especially
that
for
explains that then.
yeah, we don't have a coffee culture too much. We drink it just one in the morning to get up, just it, to wake up, to wake up, and that's it. For example, when I'm uh, before the pandemic, I used to drink one coffee with the colleagues at the office, and that's it. It was a social thing to drink coffee, not a necessity because your body needs coffee.
I drink coffee all day, every day, but I also drink a lot of water as well.
Yeah, that's good because you're making a balance if you drink a lot of
Yeah.
water. For example, when I was in Italy, they I'd asked for a coffee. They gave me like a. It was a really tiny cup of coffee. It was.
Espresso.
Yes, it's espresso, but it's a tiny bit. It's like 10 grams or something like that. It's less than a shot of tequila or something, and they said it's really, really strong. Indeed, it's strong. They gave you another cup of water to, but you take that coffee like a shot, and then you drink the water in Italy, and that's it. It was strange for me because I'm used to a big cup of coffee, like the Americans have it like this big, and I'm
I
drinking.
do. My cup's like a pint.
Yeah, like a pint, and I'm having almost 3 hours. I'm drinking from that coffee, and yeah, that was it's so small. And another thing that I was surprised in Italy was when I having a beer, they're giving you snacks like little sandwiches.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a thing in England. No, they give you like a on the house. They're free those sandwiches. You don't have
Oh,
to pay for them. It's like they call them bruschetti.
no, I've not
Yeah,
heard of that.
yeah. It happened in Rome and where my parents used to work, and because my parents have immigrated to Italy a few years
Right.
there working, which a lot of Romanians are gone to Italy.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were. They're still going to meetings in Italy. There is a Romanian congregation. It's like they never left Romania. So I was hoping that they will stop going to meetings, but they were searching for meetings in Italy when they got,
Yeah.
and
Right.
they
Okay.
found someone and say, "Let there is a Romanian congregation. You could go to that one." And yeah, yeah,
Do you
but
think they'll ever stop, or do you think they'll
no,
just?
you'll never stop. No,
Mm, I don't think mine will.
no. I think they will stay for until they will die.
That's sad, though, isn't it? That you think like,
No, because you couldn't change their minds. You could, if you have solid arguments, they think you're making them. Should I say?
but
They're
you're not sad
they
that
ha
they're wasting their life like that, then.
Yeah, but yes, but what can I do? If it's their choice as well, I have to
Mm,
respect their choice as well. They are respecting my choice.
I guess.
Yeah,
I guess it's different when you've got mutual respect,
yeah.
because a lot of
Because
us haven't. So,
I'm raised to. That's what I was raised to respect others' opinion. Uh, I was raised for myself to be like that. And, I don't get this education from my family. I was self-taught to do that, to respect others' opinions and try to, when there's a heated argument, try to live it. Because even though you are right, it's all sometimes it's wise to leave the conversation and leave it like
mm,
that. If for me, that's my opinion. Because then if things get heated, you don't reach to a consensus with that person. They just stick to themselves. Everything you are saying, you are not convincing them. They will keep it like that, even though you give solid arguments.
I
It's
mean, the
hard to.
only thing I try and be respectful, but the only thing I have a problem with is when it's harmful to people, and that's why I find it really hard to respect people who stand by.
Yeah, no, that
You know what I
depends.
mean? They stand by the
Yeah,
organisation and that.
yeah. That depends on for example, I think this is really many of members doesn't know about child abuses, like really hidden. I think only the elders and the heads of the congregation know about things, but I think a regular member doesn't know about
But you know
those
that's
things.
not true now though,
Now, no,
because in 2019 they had that Watchtower study that I went to and spoke out at the Kingdom Hall. And in the Watchtower study, it told them all about the two witness rule.
yeah.
So they all know about that. So it's not like
Yeah,
now
the
they
two.
don't know.
Yeah, I think they don't know about specific cases. For example, I think the elders are trying to cover up, and they're not letting know the whole congregation, because I
Oh
think
yeah, they're not going to tell them that, but
yeah, yeah,
they know the policies. That's what I have a
yeah, the
problem
policy,
with.
yeah,
They
it's
know the
really well
policies
known,
that they
yeah,
stand
to
by,
witness,
and
yeah,
when they're
just-
comfortable with standing by that policy, that's where I have the problem.
yeah, it's a big issue with the two witness rule. It doesn't make any sense, because it's I have, if for example I'm getting abused, I have to have a witness, for
Yeah,
Christ's sake. And what, do you want someone to watch how he's raping me? This doesn't, no, that's bullshit.
and the thing is, when I went to that Watchtower study, that was the first time I'd been to the Kingdom Hall in like 25 years.
Okay, so it really, okay, you said that's it, it's enough. This is a lot of bullshit, and
And my friend from Romania came with me, and he said that when that paragraph was read out, he expected people to be like,
wow,
no, that can't
baffled
be
out.
right. And he was shocked that nobody reacted to it. When it was read
Yeah,
out about the
yeah,
two witness rule, he was like, why didn't people like say anything? Why did nobody react to that? He
because
just couldn't understand it.
I think some of them, out of, excuse me, out of fear, because they might get disfellowshipped as apostate, because if you are questioning one of the things made up by the governing body, then automatically you are an apostate. You have
Mm.
to accept, because like they are said, the God are talking through them. And really, you really came up with these things. I think they knew when they made that rule, because of the abuses, allegations were coming up more and more, and all of them were true, even.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have to do something about it, and they made up with this rule, two witness rule, which is completely nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you couldn't have someone in the room witnessing an abuse. It's between
And
the two person, and it's one word against the other. So no, it doesn't. It
they
wasn't
used
like,
to make that child sit with the abuser. They don't do that anymore. They've took that out of the elders book. But it used to be a
okay.
rule where the child had to sit with their abuser and tell the elders what their abuser had done.
Yeah, I know about that thing. Yeah, it is really, it could scar you for life. This thing,
Yes. I
sitting
know
up
people
with
it
the
has.
sitting up in the same room with the abuser. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Well, I think all of the cults have weird rules, and I think even now we look, the Catholic Church has so many cover-ups, and how they punish the priest by moving him in another parish. So that was the only thing. Yeah,
And I know people that's happened to who were abused as a Jehovah's Witness and they've just moved their
by
abuser to a different
priest or
congregation.
by priest or by JW
Witnesses.
witnesses. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
they've just moved their abuser to a
yeah.
different congregation.
It's really hard. Yeah, yeah.
See, I found out a few years, well, probably about 10 years ago now, I didn't know at the time, a friend that a childhood friend of mine, she went to our local elders and told them that her mum and stepdad were sexually abusing her. And
Her mom as well,
her mum was kind of like,
knowing, and
she was prepping her for him. I'm not going to go into
Jesus,
detail, but yeah, she was basically grooming and prepping her for him. And she also did other stuff that was wrong to her. And she went to the elders and told the elders, and the elders called her a liar and did nothing.
no, I'm just sad hearing these things. I know there are a lot of them, but I think we should go directly to the authorities when it's this kind
Yeah,
of yeah. Don't go to the Kingdom Hall elders. Go to the authorities. They will take a proper
but she was a child.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So, like, people
yeah,
say, well,
yeah. As
why don't
as a
people go
child,
to the
yes.
police? She was a child.
Yeah, you don't think about that when you're a kid.
She didn't have the support.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? She didn't know what was going to happen to her if she went to the police about her own parents.
Yep, yep. She was probably scared to go
Yeah.
to the police. Yeah.
She did
This.
later on, years and years later. But I think because she'd left it so long, he only got community service. So he didn't do prison time. He just had to like over here, community service. They'll have to do stuff like go and pick rubbish
Yep,
off
yeah,
the
yeah.
street and stuff like that. So that's all he got in the end because she didn't have the courage as a kid to go and say what had happened to her because she didn't have the support.
Yep. When you one is a kid, it's tough to go. But when it's a person, it's, let's say, adult, or you can go to police directly. You shouldn't go to the elders first because nothing is going to happen.
No,
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. All of them calls, like I said, they cover up things, not just the JWs, all of
yeah,
them.
Amish, Mormon. Because I've done interviews with
Oh,
Amish and
about the
Mormon.
Mormons,
They
I
are as bad.
a few days ago, some Mormons stopped me, and they were from the United States. I think they are in the mission. They are missionaries. They have
Yeah,
to do 2 years or something like that, a missionary.
yeah, 2 years
And
and that's it.
when I they told me about something, and I was going to the pool, and they were baffled, something like that. That they, I don't know if someone told me that they don't swim during their missionary when they are missionary. I don't know that it's true. They think that Satan is coming up to them or something like that. No, or I'm when during their missionary time they don't go to swim. Um,
Right.
yeah, because Satan is coming up to them. Or it's the same thing. They don't drink coffee. They don't drink coffee as well. I heard. I don't know if
Yeah,
I'm
years and years ago, some Mormons knocked on my door and I was playing. I don't know if you know the metal band Cold.
cold. No,
Yeah,
no.
this was in like 2000 early 2000s, and they said to me, "Oh, I love this band." I said, "How do you know who Cold is?" And I was like, "Oh, I love metal." I went, "You're not allowed to listen to metal, are you?" And they says, "Only for 2 years, and then we can listen to what we want." And I was like, "What?" And they
Mhm.
says, "Yeah, we have to spend 2 years concentrating on our ministry, and then after that, we can listen to what we want." And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, it's
wow."
the only their missionary thing. Look, like I found on Google something like that. They don't swim just during their missionary time.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they say because it's a distraction. So anything that's classed as a distraction from their ministry, they can't do. But after 2 years, they can. I was like, that's not fair that you can listen to like metal after 2 years.
I think they are allowed to watch all kind of movies as well after the 2 years. But
Wow.
still, and they supposed to learn the language that they are in and the country they are in. For example, they spoke
Right.
Romanian with me, those missionaries. Well, anyway, it's a good thing about the pandemic that JW are not knocking on the streets anymore.
And it.
Yeah, you don't see them on the streets with the bookcase.
Yeah, but no, they're plaguing everyone with letters.
Yeah, I think only ex-members or members, or
No,
they're sending
everybody's getting letters.
everybody.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've seen
so
lots of people in groups on Facebook complaining about that they're getting letters and they were never witnesses.
I think they still have those territories and they are sending letters to the
Yeah, that's
person
what
they
they're
want.
doing. Yeah, to
Okay,
count their time.
yeah, yeah. So how they're monitoring that time on how many letters they wrote, or
I
I don't
don't.
care really. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like they're gonna just say, "Well, I spent so many hours this month." No one can prove it, can they? So
Yeah, I remember my father used to send me to another member's house to send the paper with the hours for the whole family, and he always making up hours. He told me, how many hours did you speak about Jehovah this week? And I said, None. Okay, I will say it's 5 hours. It's okay. Yeah, I think he was really more, let's say, half out, because
Right.
like said, he was going to the meetings. He was an elder. He was uh, having sermons, or like, I don't know, there was on the Sunday before Watchtower reading, and he liked to appear himself as a very, very active person, but in reality he was not.
I used to lie about my hours.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
wasn't even unbaptized. How we say the I think.
Publisher?
Yeah, yeah. I'm baptized, but I wasn't. I never went to door to door. Oh, sorry, I just went only once, and it would scare the shit out of me. I remember, because I was afraid of meeting someone from school.
Yes,
That's
I used to
yeah,
hate that.
yeah, but it didn't happen. So
So we've got someone wanting to join us called the Cool Toe Vlogs. I don't know who this is, so add them to the screen. They're muted. Hello.
hello. Oh, I think it's mute. The microphone is muted. The camera as well. It's off.
Hello, you're on. You're on with us, Cool Toad. But you're muted. Oh, come on, a different device. What? Screen sharing. Thank you. Said he subbed for over there. Yeah, like towards the end, I'd put 6 hours, and that was a lie, because I'd probably do about two.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, my stepdad used to be the one that counted. So he'd be downstairs counting how many hours everyone had done in the idea and go, Emma, what? Come downstairs. Where's your report? I haven't done one. How many hours? I'd just be like, 6. But it'd really be 2, if that.
Yeah.
Why do you want to share your screen with us?
He has he has shared his
I can
channel.
see he's trying to. Oh. Well, I'm not just going to plug you unless I know who you are, but you're on the chat now if you want to come and tell us who you are.
Okay. I won't stay long, because here is quite late. I will stay about
You've gone
10
off,
minutes.
yeah.
Tomorrow it's a work day.
Yes.
Yeah. Still, it's nice because I can make my schedule. I can log in anytime between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. And after that, I have to stay 8 hours without
Oh,
one
okay.
with 1 hour lunch break.
So you're working from home?
Yeah, I'm working from home. Yeah. Uh, it's quite nice working from home. I like it, because I have more time, because I was spending out about 1 hour going back and to work, and back home from work. So
So what do
now
you do for work?
I work at Amazon. I'm a quality analyst.
Oh, okay.
I'm not working in a warehouse or something. I'm in the
Right,
offices.
okay. I order so much from Amazon. Amazon makes me broke
Oh, how come?
because I order too much. There's always something that I want.
No, there for me, I work in the compliance department. I'm auditing if the product was recalled correctly.
Uh,
Yeah, so It's okay. It's okay. You pay my bills, my food. I can have a few savings, and it's okay.
I mean,
It could have been worse.
Amazon must have been so busy since the whole pandemic because like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
when I started ordering more.
Yeah, for example, someone told us that if Bezos would have give us a bonus of $100,000 each Amazon employee, he would remain with exactly the same fortune before the pandemic started. It's how much that much money had he has made during the pandemic.
Mm,
And yeah, I see I heard really bad stories from Amazon employees from warehouses. Their working conditions are really bad over there.
oh,
Yeah, and just in the warehouses, but in the offices is okay. Still, he's spending our money going to space, Bezos.
mm. See, Amazon does have pretty decent customer service because, like, when I've complained about stuff, they've been like, right, we can
Yeah,
refund you right now, and they've been decent.
the how is the refund? It's okay if you ask for a refund.
Yeah, normally, yeah, they just do it straight away. Except for I ordered, because my favourite spirit is Southern Comfort, and I'd ordered a bottle, and
Mhm.
then it was supposed to be delivered, and it came up undeliverable. So when I looked at what that meant, it said it was either like broken or whatever. I had to go back to the warehouse. I was like, okay. So I ordered it again the next day. But then it says you've got to wait for a refund, and I've got to wait 5 to 7 days for it to go back to the warehouse. And then you've got to wait for the refund to be processed. So literally 4 weeks later, I was asking them again, where's my refund? It's been 4 weeks. So eventually I spoke to somebody on the chat and I was like, do you want me to refund you now? And I was like, yes, please, because it's been like 4 weeks.
It's frustrating waiting so much time,
Mm.
4 weeks for a refund.
But normally they do stuff straight away, but I don't know why they took so long because the driver took it back and I think that made a difference.
The driver, I think they are new people processing the refunds, and no, I don't know exactly what
Uh,
happens because, for example, in Romania we don't have warehouses; only the offices are just that.
so that could be why. It could have been related to that
Yeah, I
kind of
think.
like.
Yeah. The catalog associates are as well here in Romania. Many of them are in India, in Poland, in the Netherlands, and that's about it. But still, for me, I don't have a reason to seek for another job because the management is okay. The colleagues are really fine. They're good mates with me. We are going out
Mm,
drinking.
oh.
Uh, it's a nice community over there. So yeah, but sometimes, like I said, I really miss going back to the office because you socialize more.
Yeah, yeah, see more people.
Yeah, working from home, I can't wait Friday to come or Saturday to go out and to go to a pub and socialize.
Mm.
As a human being, for example, I need to socialize. So
But it's weird being able to do that again because it's been so long with COVID and not being able to go to pubs, and now we can. It's weird.
yeah, for example, in Romania, only if you are vaccinated you can go to the pub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you are not, you have to stay out. You're not
So do
allowed
you have
inside the
like
premises.
you have to carry proof of that then?
Yeah, it's a certificate. You can download it directly.
Oh. See, they were talking about doing that here, but
Yeah,
everybody was like, no.
this is on the in the UE, on the European Union, as just it. You have to make proof of that. And you can go everywhere you want in every country. You don't have to stay in quarantine for 2 weeks
Right.
if you have this. Yeah, it's you have you have more freedoms, let's say, than the others. Because in Romania there are people think they're, and that's true because their freedoms are getting smaller and smaller if you're not vaccinated. You can go to you can go to the malls, you can go to pubs, you can go to the cinema, and, if you're not vaccinated. Only to groceries, to buy groceries. That's the only thing you can go to the food
Wow.
stores if you are not vaccinated. And there's a lot of people because in Romania we are not even 40% vaccinated. So
Wow. So it must be like quiet in your shopping centres then.
yeah, there is it's a quiet time right now. No, because of this thing, because people are not vaccinated, like I said, it's the like in the beginning, it's a disastrous. The hospitals are full, the ICUs are full, people are dying like 500 deaths per day, 10,000 new cases daily. Uh, yeah, and it's for example, I kind of know it's an acquaintance, a person who died at 45 from COVID. So
Wow.
yeah. He had some other issues, but still, yeah. After he got the virus,
That's young, isn't it?
yeah. And as well, coming back to the JW, they think that is one of the signs that the Armageddon is close.
Yeah, another one, yeah,
Yeah. And I said
of
to my
course.
mom, but remember the Spanish flu? Remember the polio pandemic? And
Swine flu and all the others,
swine
and
flu,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it was the smallpox epidemic, and yeah, they were the Black Death, which decimated Europe. Yeah, and that was during the Dark Ages, and say they were saying the same thing back then during the Dark Ages that the end is coming, and
yeah.
nothing has come.
No, I mean, what they're going to do next? An overlapping generation. It's just like,
Yeah, even these one are old. I think
you know,
maximum 10 years, 20 years they will live on, and after that, what's new? Let's say what you are coming up with.
and the other stupid thing is, like, why do these witnesses not think about the fact that they're making this new what's it called? The new centre that's going to be all online. The new media centre, which
I
is
don't know
not
about
going to.
this one.
Yeah, they're making a new media centre. The governing body are building a new media centre, right? And they said it's not going.
It's like another headquarters or something like that.
Well, it's going to be so they can do all the broadcasting from there.
Okay.
So it's going to be like a totally online thing, which they planned. It started happening before the pandemic, but obviously, I think the pandemic made it easier for them to go online. So they were
Yeah,
building this media centre so they can do more online broadcasting.
I
But
heard
this media centre, it's not going to be finished until 6 years. So if Armageddon is just
it's
around
around
the
the corner.
corner,
Yeah.
why are they building a media centre that's going to take 6 years?
Uh, you know,
How are they
try.
not thinking about this? Like, I asked
Yeah,
Jehovah's Witnesses that in the group and they couldn't answer. And then they said, oh, well, Jehovah's buildings will get through Armageddon. I said, right, so who's going to run the satellites? Who's going to run the internet? Where are you going to get your electricity from?
it's going to be
Who's
out of
going
the
to be doing
blue.
the broadcasts if the
It's-
governing body are in heaven? I
Yeah,
was like, none of this makes sense, and they couldn't answer the questions.
yeah. There, I know. I remember my mother who used to tell me that during the when the kingdom will come, we were not needing cars because we were teleporting. Like you wish to go there and you poof, you are there, something like that. Or I know my mom. I was saying to her, how come a lion will be able to live in Romania? It's really cold. I don't know because it's everything is going to be like magic back then.
And when they
Yeah,
say like you get through Armageddon and then you've got to get through the next 1,000 years, right? But then
yeah.
what are they going to live on for those 1,000 years?
Spiritual food only.
Is it going to be manna? Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, yeah. No, you're going. Oh, I think I recalled all of us were going to be vegetarians because it will be we will not be needing of eating meat because we were going to kill animals and remember the story of Daniel and the three Jews, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, because when they come to the Babylon, they have eaten only fruits and vegetables, and they were fatter than the other who ate the pork and I don't know if you remember that.
right.
Yeah, right. And
But
we say all of us were going to be vegetarians, and I said no, I can't be a vegetarian.
but aren't all the vegetables going to be covered in dead bodies of us heathens?
Yeah, because about the dead body, I was Colonel Welch. Oh, the animals, they will be that their last meal, and the animals will clean up the dead bodies, and yeah, it's a bunch of nonsense.
It is when you stop and think about it all. It's just like, how did I even believe that was
Yeah,
true?
yeah, yeah. It's fairy tales. It's like, yeah, it's for me, like I said many times, it's like mythology. For me, the Bible is something like the ancient Greek myths and the Norse myths and so on and so forth. It's nothing. It's for me. It's just stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like like the Norse have Ragnarok, the Christians, Jews have the apocalypse. It's no, yeah. So I see you're almost finished. It looks very, very nice.
I'm getting there. It's a long journey. You look at something and you think, oh, that's not going to take me long, and then you start doing it, and then you're like, oh, it took a lot longer than I thought. But it's good to just like have a chat while I'm doing it.
So you're going out tonight with the
No, I'm just doing it for fun.
Mhm.
I'm going to
in
go out
UK?
Friday.
In UK it's 9 right now, right?
So yeah,
It's 9 in the UK, right? 9 o'clock.
yeah.
Yeah,
In 2 minutes, it's 9 o'clock.
yeah.
So I'll just take photos and put it on my Instagram because I haven't done any Halloween looks this year. So
Last year, have you done something?
I did loads last year.
Oh, oh, last year was lockdown. It was lockdown in the UK. The
Yeah,
only thing, yeah.
because
It's
like
straight.
since I left the religion, that's the only one Halloween I've never been out, and it was weird because I was like, I've never missed Halloween before.
Yeah, so many things were missed because, for example, in Romania, during summers, we are not in lockdown. After summers is gone, lockdown. And
Oh,
yeah, in the 2020 summer it was the same thing. In the last summer it was again the same thing. They leave us freely during summer, and after that, lockdown.
that's interesting.
Because they need money for the budget, and we have to travel to during summers because there's revenue into the government's budget during summers. The tourist attractions in Romania, there are quite a few, especially the mountain area at the sea. They are making a lot of money, so
Well,
it's like a business.
sorry, I interrupted you. I actually got to go to a gig a few months ago. Well, a few months ago now. And it was weird because even though we could go to a gig, we all had to sit down. Nobody was like allowed to stand up. And it was like it was an orchestra played rock music. But they told us that we wasn't allowed to hum or sing along. So it's like, what? Now they're taking it too far. But we did like hum and sing along. But it was weird going to like in a rock
sitting like
club and not being able to like.
It's weird because here at the concert we are standing up, we are doing mosh pits, all of that's.
Yeah, so there's none of that.
Yeah, no, it was like we are banging our head,
because
holding
at this
each other.
place, like, it was always mosh pits and stuff, and then it's like, no, sit down, you just got to sit down and listen. It's like,
weird, no, for a rock concert.
What? But you're playing Rammstein and stuff, and how am I supposed to just sit here?
Yeah. I always wanted to go to a Rammstein concert, and
I haven't seen them yet. I really want to.
I've seen only live. I've seen only Iron Maiden from the big one. I've seen Metallica a few years back. They went, and another one. I've seen Bardona. I've seen Bardona. It's right before the pandemic. It's Einar has an amazing voice singing him live. And I've seen a couple of times. I don't know if you. It's a British band, Uriah Heep. But now are really. It's a band from the 70s. The most popular song is "Lady in Black."
Doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah, I think you would know the song if you're listening. "Lady in Black." It's quite popular. I couldn't sing it to you because I'm deaf tone, so.
I am the same. That's why I worried earlier when I had to sing that classical tune, because I thought, yeah, I'm just going to do it really badly.
Yeah, I can't sing, so.
I'm the same. I went to see a Five Finger Death Punch not long before the pandemic. They were good.
Yeah, I know. I like them as well.
And they were so cool as well because it was some little kid's birthday. He was about 8 or 9, and they got him up on stage and everything.
I've seen, I think, for example, I've seen on YouTube something like that. The Foo Fighters are doing that a lot.
And they sang Happy Birthday to him, and then he was like, come on, and got more kids up on stage, and I wasn't expecting that from Five Finger Death Punch. It really surprised me.
Yeah, they seem like really mean men, all of them.
I was like, it's so cool.
Yeah. And I've seen, I don't know if you know this band Sabaton.
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, the most known, the most well-known song of them is, I think, is Primo Victoria. They're singing
I didn't know if I heard it.
Yeah, they're singing about battles all of the time, battles that took place in history. That's their thing.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to leave now because I'm starting to get really sleepy. And thank you too for the chat. It was good.
It's been good. Thank you for coming on.
And have a great evening ahead.
And enjoy work tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you. You as well. Bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Right then, so unless anyone else wants to pop on and chat, I want to finish this. It has taken longer than expected. And I'll fuck off too. Anyone want to pop on? anyone else want to come on and talk about Halloween? Are you going out the weekend? Are you going trick or treating with your kids? Is it your first Halloween? I don't think I even remember mine, but I've done Halloween religiously every year for 25 years, except for obviously when they shut us down for COVID. But other than that, I've done Halloween every single year, and I love to get gored up. Good fun. But I took inspiration tonight from a lady on Instagram from Germany. If I remember how to pronounce her name right, it's Kalesi or something like that. I will give her credit, but obviously mine is nowhere near as good as hers because she is amazing. But last year she inspired me to do the gold glitter look, which I might do to go out with on Saturday with all the gold gems. The one, and there's a few last year inspired me from her. There was the green UV half face skull. I always give her credit on my Instagram saying you inspired me to do this. Because she's the original artist and she's amazing. Wanna come and chat? Wanna finish and let me know? For doing stuff like this, honestly, I appreciate people who do Instagram full time, because it is literally full time. Like, some people do such elaborate looks, and it must take them hours and hours to do it every single day after that. So once you try and copy a look, it does make you kind of appreciate how much work that person's put into it. I need some clean water because I can't see. How do you see? Leave the camera. How dirty my water is, so I need to get some clean water. So at this point I'm going to sign off, and I'll put the end result on Instagram. I'll see you there.